Good evening, and thank you for joining EMO Nightly News. This is the news package for March 11th, 2026, and I am your presenter, Anna Benjamin. In the headlines this evening, Commonwealth Sport Dominica marks Commonwealth Day with tree planting. 2025-2026 DAT Spelling Bee begins with exciting contest. OECS concludes 10th annual meeting of statisticians. West Indies team secures commercial flights after delays leaving T20 World Cup. Suspected tornadoes cause damage in Illinois and Indiana. And Israeli strike hits residential building in central Beirut amid ongoing Lebanon attacks. Stay tuned for the details of these stories.
Welcome to Antigua. Them people have no behavior. They have no behavior. Welcome to Antigua. Clear out how you know it's danger. How you know it's danger. When it comes to mass, it was deadly.
And in local news, the 2025-2026 Dominica Association of Teachers DAT Primary School Spelling Bee competition got off to an exciting start as Lighthouse Christian Academy and Siniku Primary School battled for top honors in the first of 4 preliminary rounds. In a closely contested encounter, Lighthouse Christian Academy edged out Siniku Primary School by just 10 points, the equivalent of 1 word. Representing Lighthouse Christian Academy were Dimitri Benjamin, who scored 230 points, and Amelia John Baptist, who finished with 220 points. Siniku Primary School was represented by Kaylin KB and Jaylene Valmore, who both scored 220 points. The final scores were Lighthouse Christian Academy 450 and Siniku Primary School 440 points. Both schools have secured a place in the finals, and all 4 students will advance to the Champ of the Champs competition. Congratulations are in order to all participants. To celebrate Commonwealth Day 2026, Commonwealth Sport Dominica joined Commonwealth Sport Caribbean in a tree planting initiative. Members planted shade-bearing palms and Dominica's national flower, the vibrant Bois Caribe, in the Bath Estate community, home to the organization's headquarters. The activity was carried out in collaboration with the Bath Estate Improvement Committee and the Dominica Forestry Division, whose support helped make the initiative possible. Among those participating were Billy Doctrove, Brendan Williams, Chester Lita, and Vernon Joseph, along with members of the Commonwealth Sport Dominica executive and staff. Organizers said the simple community action represented a positive step toward this year's theme, unlocking opportunities together for a prosperous Commonwealth, while contributing to a greener and healthier planet. A meeting between local music stakeholders and United States music executives was held earlier today, providing an opportunity to strengthen partnerships and explore new opportunities for the growth of the local music industry. Communication strategist, public relations expert, and radio personality Ayola George gave a brief overview of the purpose of the meeting, highlighting the importance of building connections and creating avenues for Dominican music to reach international markets.
This morning we're having a meeting under the umbrella of the Association of Music Professionals, of which I'm part of the executive. My name is Ayola George, and I'm the PRO. So AMP is an organization that was started back in 2007 to basically be a voice for persons in the music sector. And it did not necessarily mean musicians, singers, songwriters only. It covered a wide range of professionals, including persons, in back of house and so forth. Persons who are also involved in other areas such as publicists, which is what I am. I represent a lot of the local artists here. So AMP is focused on training, and we've done workshops on songwriting, on sound engineering, on studio engineering, on music business. And we've done that in collaboration with the government, represented by Dexia. This is Dexia's building. Dexia is a trade organization which deals with the um, export and import of goods and services. So if you look here, you can see obvious white potato, which is a good, but you'll see here Asa Banton, which is one of our top Booyah artists. So they understand that music is part of that. The creative sector is part of that. And so they were more than happy to allow us to use their facility to have this meeting. And Dexia also this year sponsored one of the categories in the Dominica Music Awards for Best Bouillon Artist, which was, I believe, Hudas won that award.
Bernie Lawrence Watkins also shared her perspective during the discussions. She spoke on the importance of copyright protection and the creative side of the music industry, emphasizing the need for artists to understand and protect their intellectual property.
There are certain intellectual property rights that govern creativity. One in particular is copyright, and the second is trademarks. So when we're talking about protecting rights and having an understanding of how to move forward, the rights need to be secured in terms of the history, how everything came to be. I'm not sure exactly where that's documented, but it needs to be documented. And let me just explain the two intellectual property rights I just mentioned. A copyright is a creative work of authorship that's placed in a tangible medium of expression. And what do I mean by that? It has to be fixed. So when we talk about a copyright, we're talking about an author, someone who creates the work. And the creative expression are unique terms that are used or unique aspects in a work that identify the creativity of the work. So in particular, when we speak of music, there are two creative sides. You have the musical composition, and that's where the publishing lies, and then you have the sound recording. So when we talk about the musical composition, we're talking about the lyrics, the melody, and the music itself. When we are talking about the sound recording is the makeup of all the performances that are embodied in the work. So that would be the performances, like the vocals that we hear, the arrangement that the producer does, and then the music. Generally, the record label or the artist will own the sound recording, depending on how the work is being distributed. If the artist is a do-it-yourself artist, as in today, when an artist just can create a work, they can upload it to a distributor, and now the work is available on all the digital service providers like Apple Music, Spotify, Amazon. We have Tidal. Those are all forms of digital service providers. When we look at the sound recording rights, again, that is housed by the record label, or again the artist who is releasing the work itself.
In other local news, the United States and Dominica have concluded a 5-day tactical medical knowledge exchange aimed at strengthening emergency response capabilities. The program brought together members of the U.S. Virgin Islands Army National Guard and the Commonwealth of Dominica Police Force, who shared life-saving trauma response techniques and best practices in emergency medical care. The collaboration highlights the ongoing commitment of both partners to improving regional emergency preparedness and enhancing professional development among first responders. Chief of Police Lincoln Corbett noted that the partnership between Dominica and the United States continues to grow stronger and expressed optimism about building on this cooperation in the future. And finally, in local news, The Dominica Lions Club has donated stationery supplies to the Goodwill, Newtown, and Girardale primary schools as part of its ongoing support for youth education. The initiative was made possible through the generous contribution of Ms. Tamika Jude, whose support continues to positively impact young people within the community. The donation included essential school supplies such as notebooks, pens, pencils, and other classroom materials. These items will assist students in their daily learning while also easing some of the financial pressure on families and schools. The project reflects the continued commitment of the Dominica Lions Club to the humanitarian mission of Lions Clubs International, which promotes programs that strengthen communities and support youth and education. Club representatives also expressed sincere gratitude to Ms. Jude for her generosity and partnership in helping to ensure that students have the resources they need to grow, learn, and pursue their goals. And that's it for local news. We'll be right back with regional news. First up in regional news, the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States, OECS, has concluded its 10th annual meeting of statisticians held in St. Vincent and the Grenadines with a renewed commitment to strengthening data-driven education policy across the region. The two-day meeting brought together statisticians, education officers, technical specialists, and development partners with support from UNICEF and the UNESCO Institute for Statistics. Discussions focused on improving education data collection, analysis, and reporting, including updates on the OECS student census, the regional EMIS initiative, and a demonstration of the new Regional Education Digest platform, which features real-time updates and tools to improve data accuracy. Officials say the meeting also provided an opportunity for participants to share challenges, strengthen technical capacity, and align regional support for long-term education data systems. The annual gathering marks a decade of collaboration in education statistics, helping OECS member states make more informed decisions to improve education systems across the region. In other regional news, the St. Kitts and Nevis Olympic Committee recently highlighted the important role of women in sports during a special workshop held as part of its International Women's Day celebrations in Bastille. Speaking at the event, St. Kitts and Nevis Olympic Committee President Dennis Knight emphasized the value of investing in women, noting that empowering women in sport helps strengthen families, inspire young girls, and build healthier communities. The workshop brought together 30 female administrators, coaches, officials, volunteers, and athletes at the Alfonso E. Bridgewater Olympic House in Bastille. Participants also heard remarks from Dame Marcella Liebert, who congratulated the women on their achievements while encouraging them to continue making a greater impact in sports and society. Director of Sports Jeffrey Hazel also addressed the gathering on behalf of the Ministry of Sports, praising the significant contributions women continue to make across the sporting landscape in St. Kitts and Nevis. A major highlight of the event was a workshop on safeguarding and anti-doping in sports, organized by Women's Sport Commission, chaired by Jennifer Nero. The initiative forms part of the Olympic Committee's ongoing commitment to promote gender equality and expand opportunities for women in sports throughout the Federation. Finally, in regional news, members of the Jamaica Constabulary Force visited Denby High School on Tuesday, March 10th, as part of the ongoing No Gangs, No Violence, No Drugs school tour. The visit was led by Sergeant Chambers and officers from the Maypen Police Community Safety and Security Branch, who engaged students in interactive discussions focused on positive decision-making and responsible behavior. Students were also given practical guidance on peacefully resolving disputes and avoiding negative influences. The initiative is part of the Jamaica Constabulary Force's continued efforts to support young people, strengthen community relationships, and promote safer school environments. And that's it for regional news. We'll be right back with international news.
Blast Gaming presents its biggest job ever. Blast Mystery Progressive. I'm so excited. I can't hide it. The new Blast Jackpot rising. And I like it. It going up and up and up and up and up. Blast up and up and up and up and up and up.
Play selected games to win in the Blast Mystery Progressive. Pick until you match 3 gems and win one of the 5 cash jackpots. Or you can blast up with the Mystery Progressive jackpot.
It going up and up and up and up and up. Blast up and up and up. Blast Gaming.
And in international news, a third vessel was struck by a projectile near the Strait of Hormuz on Wednesday, according to the United Kingdom Maritime Trade Operations. The Maritime Authority reported that a bulk carrier was hit by an unknown projectile about 50 nautical miles northwest of Dubai. Officials confirmed that the crew members were safe and there was no environmental damage reported. Earlier in the day, a cargo ship caught fire and had to be evacuated after being struck about 11 nautical miles north of Oman's Musandam Peninsula. Another cargo vessel was also reported damaged earlier Wednesday after being hit off the coast of the United Arab Emirates. According to the United Kingdom Maritime Trade Operations, 13 vessels have been attacked since the conflict involving Iran escalated, raising concerns about security along one of the world's most important shipping routes. And in other international news, suspected tornadoes caused significant damage to homes, trees, and power lines in parts of Illinois and Indiana on Tuesday as severe storms swept across the region. One tornado struck Kankakee County, about 47 miles south of Chicago, knocking down trees and power lines and causing major damage in the southern part of Kankakee City before moving northeast toward Aroma Park. Authorities reported no injuries from the Illinois storm. Meanwhile, another suspected tornado caused heavy damage in Newton County, where several homes in Lake Village were reportedly destroyed and some residents injured. Emergency crews remained on the scene responding to the damage. The storms came as the National Weather Service warned that severe weather could bring tornadoes, damaging winds, and large hail across areas from Texas to Michigan. Officials said more than 2 million people were at moderate risk of severe weather, while nearly 22 million others faced a lower but still significant risk. Authorities have also identified 4 victims who died during Friday's tornado outbreak in southwest Michigan. The tornadoes caused extensive damage across several communities. Officials continue to assess the damage as emergency crews respond to the aftermath of the storms. And finally, in international news, Israeli forces carried out a strike on a residential building in central Beirut as part of continued bombardment across Lebanon, killing at least 19 people in several attacks nationwide. According to Lebanon's national news agency, an early morning strike in Tamni al-Tata in the Baalbek district killed 7 people and injured 5 others. Additional attacks across southern Lebanon, including Saf al-Hawa in Bint Jubel and al-Shahabayi, also resulted in deaths and injuries. The strike in Beirut targeted a multi-story residential building in the Ashabaka neighborhood, a densely populated area not typically associated with armed groups. Reports indicate that the attack may have been an attempted assassination, though the intended target has not been confirmed. Emergency responders said parts of the building were left severely damaged and on fire, with several residents taken to the hospital. The attack reportedly occurred without prior warning, leaving many residents shocked. The escalation comes amid the wider regional conflict involving Israel, Iran, and the Lebanese armed group Hezbollah. Lebanese authorities say nearly 780,000 people have been displaced since the latest wave of attacks began. At least 570 people have been killed in Lebanon since Israel intensified operations last week. Meanwhile, France announced it would send 60 tons of humanitarian aid to Lebanon, including medical supplies, hygiene kits, and emergency relief items. And that's all for international news. We'll be right back with sports.
Don't forget, today we have funeral, we have functions. Make sure you're on time.
Always on time, eh?
You're always on time. Make sure. All right. Papa Met, look, I just received a message from National Bank asking me to regain access to my account. Look at a message that your account has been placed on hold due to an unusual activity. Let me click that link.
How many times NBD has to say that they will never ever send links via text message to regain access to account or to restore account or to do anything with account?
So National Bank that sent it, I believe it. I just click in.
Emo, if you are not sure, it's better if you call National Bank at 255-2300 or email them at customersupport@nbd.dm.
Papa Met, little again I lose all the little money I save up from my account.
And you'd find money to pay me.
Yeah, I tell you, I almost click link and almost lose my money. You're talking about I hope I have money to pay you. Let's go, eh?
All I know is don't click any link. Call NBD instead.
So let us go our business.
And first up in sports news, Cricket West Indies, CWI, has confirmed that members of the West Indies men's team currently in India will return home via commercial flights following continued delays with charter travel arrangements organized by the International Cricket Council. In a statement released Tuesday, Cricket West Indies explained that the charter flight intended to transport both the West Indies and South Africa teams was reportedly delayed. After completing their matches, the West Indies squad remained in India for 9 days awaiting travel. According to CWI, the delays were linked to global tensions and aviation regulations, which created uncertainty around the ICC-arranged charter flight. Due to concerns for the well-being and safety of players and support staff, CWI informed the ICC that it was no longer practical to wait for the charter arrangements and began securing commercial travel for the team. Some players and staff have already departed India, while the remaining members of the squad are scheduled to leave on Tuesday and Wednesday. Cricket West Indies thanked fans and stakeholders for their patience and support as efforts were made to ensure the team's safe return home. And in local football news, the 2025-2026 Dominica Football Association (DFA) Women's Premier League season has officially concluded, with New India Goodwill runners emerging as champions. Belfast Estate Maho Soccer Strikers secured the second place, while Roosevelt's carried Portsmouth Bombers finished third in the standings. The DFA expressed sincere appreciation to all teams, players, coaches, and supporters for their commitment and passion throughout the season, which contributed to another exciting chapter in women's football. The association also extended special thanks to match officials, referees, media personnel, commentators, and the streaming crew who worked tirelessly to ensure the matches were properly covered and accessible to fans across Dominica and beyond. Gratitude was also expressed to venue staff, vendors, sponsors, and other stakeholders whose support helped make the league possible. As the season closes, the DFA says it remains committed to strengthening and expanding the Women's Premier League, while continuing to create more opportunities for the growth and development of women's football in Dominica. And finally, in sports news, 2 matches were played yesterday in the Sports Division Secondary Schools Volleyball Championship at the Windsor Park Sports Stadium. In the girls' match, Isaiah Thomas Secondary School defeated Cassibus Secondary School 3-2 in a closely contested game. Set scores were 23-25, 25-21, 25-19, 15-25, and 17-15. In the boys' match, ITSS also secured victory over Casibro Secondary, winning 3-0 with set scores of 25-17, 25-21, and 25-18. Congratulations to the Isaiah Thomas Secondary School. And that's it for sports news for this evening. We'll be right back with the weather report. And here is the weather report from the Dominican Meteorological Service. Over the next 24 hours, wind speeds are expected to gradually decrease across Dominica. Expect periods of cloudy skies along with a few passing showers. Marine conditions remain moderate to rough, but are expected to gradually improve. Wave heights are forecasted to reach near 8 feet along the east coast and around 5 feet along the west coast. A small craft advisory remains in effect for the eastern coastline. Small craft operators and sea bathers are strongly advised to stay out of the waters along the entire eastern coast. Remember, stay tuned for further updates from the Dominican Meteorological Service. This has been EmoNews Nightly Package for March 11th, 2026. I am a presenter, Suana Benjamin. See you tomorrow evening.